We have 3 ads left. I don't know if you want to do it now or not, but we're in the break.
Millions ads.
Yeah.
That's okay, because that'll give me a second to move folks around.
Okay.
Nice.
Wait, nope.
I'm just seeing Pete Davidson say words.
There.
Oh, really? I've got a price lock guarantee on mine.
Oh, he's got a Crunchwrap Supreme to say.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder what that says about our tracking cookie.
A breakfast Crunchwrap Supreme?
Oh, what? Yours is so much better. I've got a Capital One commercial. What the fuck?
Too much banking. What are you doing?
I'm not.
Oh my
That's why you're being advertised, because you're not.
This one's Call of Duty Warzone, so.
Now everybody's in the right spot. All right. So I think we're all good to go now. I think the internet's gonna play nice, at least for a little bit here.
Oh, good.
So
Yeah,
I was getting. I think Othi was getting attacked by something, but I
is
didn't catch
definitely
what was
getting
going
attacked
on.
by something. Yes, absolutely. So, where you are all right now is in a field in Minfindor. You are on your way from the Mouse King's domain, looking for the next step of your journey. Any information about the Primal Court or the corruption or anything about anything, really. And as you're tracking, looking for a place to sleep for the evening, Ileana, you caught that there were 2 invisible creatures that were following you. Turns out there were 3 invisible creatures that were following you. 2 of them were quadrupedal, no face, big open maw, teeth jutting inwards with this long thorned tongue that whips all the way around. And one of them was a bipedal crocodilian with mouths at each of its shoulders, each of its knees, and its elbows. As you watched, and they watched, eventually turned around and started leaving without engaging with you at all, leaving you concerned as you chased after them and decided to make it your prop. Turning into a giant elk and covering them with fairy fire, you can now see that one of the mounts is bright purple and the crocodilian type creature is bright purple. The other mount is still invisible, but it's being ridden by a rider as you've all started to have your attack. A few of you did fall asleep, however, as this creature started singing from each of its mouths, as Marosha, Ben, and Gren all fell asleep. Ben, after having fallen off the back of Viren, who started sprinting, running at the rider himself, has fallen on the ground and is awake, but prone. It is these mounts' turns, as one of them is facing Othi. This long, thorned tongue whipped and struck with a 26 to hit Othi.
Yeah, that will hit.
Yeah, surprising. And it's going to deal with that tongue 26 bludgeoning damage to you.
Okay. I have.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's piercing damage.
Okay. I have heavy armor master, so piercing damage from non-magical attacks is reduced by 3.
This does count as a magical attack.
Okay. Is it a spell?
It is a magical weapon.
Okay. So I have resistance to damage from spells, but this isn't considered a spell. It's just
This is
a
not a
magical
spell.
weapon.
This is a
Okay.
magical weapon for all intents and purposes. This is this creature's tongue, but it pierces through your armor with ease.
Okay.
And I need you to make... and it wraps around you, and you are just grappled by this thorny tongue.
All right.
And the other one, invisible still, turns and bolts. As it is in range of at least you, Viren. It's struck. It's leaving. Viren, you doing anything?
If it flees, it's
fleeing. It's fleeing, yes.
Great.
This one is still invisible. The mount is, but it is the actual mount itself is going to be running.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's fine. We're still going to attack it anyways.
Okay.
We're going to try to put some hoofs to it this time.
Okay.
And it's a 17.
This is, yeah, perfect. It would be a disadvantage, but that was with disadvantage anyway. Sweet. That is going to hit. Yes, go ahead and roll your damage for that attack.
30.
Damn. All right, sweet.
And I give it a very good...
Cool. And it is still going to bolt as this thing travels incredibly quickly. And it is now over 100 feet away from you. You cannot see the mount, because this is still invisible, but you can see the rider as they're taking off. Ben, you're hurt. You're prone. You're awake. What do you want to do?
Oh, how close am I to Othi and this other mountain and everybody else?
To Othi and the other mount, you're about 40 feet away from them. You fell off Viren's back as you fell asleep and as Viren charged. So you got a little bit of momentum, but you're about 40 feet behind where Othi is currently.
And Othi got grappled, and I'm assuming these things have a pretty long tongue. It seems
pretty
like.
long tongue, yeah.
So how far away is Othi from this thing?
Othi to this thing? Othi, would you have been in melee range?
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Yeah, then Othi is right next to this thing, within 5 feet.
Oh. Dang. Okay, then how close is Grin?
Gren would have gotten to... Gren, you were able to move 120 feet. So Gren, you would be... I guess, how does trigonometry work? About 50 feet to your left, roughly?
God. Nobody is within good... And I take it Marosha's about that far away, too, probably.
Flat on the ground.
Yeah. They're pretty close to each other, but you were also on Viren's back.
Yeah, and I've got to use half my movement speed to get up.
Mhm.
Great. Yeah. So Ben's gonna do a bit of cursing. What the fuck just happened? He'll probably laugh about this later, but he's really embarrassed now. So he's gonna get up around 15 feet towards Grin and Marosha and use an action to... Actually, this is perfect. Would that put him within 30 feet of at least Grin and Marosha?
Yes.
Okay, Othi's still too far. How? Still too far.
A little bit out. So you would be moving a little bit away from Othi to get towards Ben and Gren and Marosha.
Okay. All right.
As you would have been in the center of them. As
All right.
the Mastiff ran faster and they fell asleep.
I'm gonna head towards them, but I'm going to... Ben is going to kind of turn around and pull out that arcane firearm. And he figures, stone, but what are you gonna do? Hurl a firebolt at the hideous stone construct that has Othi.
You would know this more than anybody. This is not a construct. This thing
creature.
is made of flesh, but it is not
has
pretty.
this plating
Yes.
on it.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that's a 15 to hit. I don't know if that's gonna...
15. As you shoot this, what's this look like?
Well, arcane firearms, so he has the carved wand. Just this bolt, this streak of flames comes shooting just straight as an arrow out. And almost lightning fast, laser straight towards this thing.
And as it flies straight at it, it bounces off at an angle and seems to have connected but not dealt an impact at this point.
Oh, well.
It does take note of you, but it didn't hurt this time.
Well, lesson learned. Son of a bitch. And that's my turn. That's all I could do.
Okay. Gren.
I'm
You're
asleep.
asleep. Viren. You're not asleep.
No, Viren hunts now. So that thing is what, 120 feet away?
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. We're gonna pull some more horn bullshit.
Sweet.
Movement full 60 feet, action another 60 feet, and a slightly different arrangement of horn-based abilities.
Okay.
This time we're gonna go with Goring Rush. Anytime I move, use my action to dash and move at least 20 feet, can make a horn attack as a bonus action. So we're going bonus action with that ram.
Okay.
So it's a fairy fire. I don't know if it's advantage. If it's not, still a 20.
Which one are you attacking specifically?
I was attacking the rider.
The rider.
Yeah, I don't give a shit if the mount gets away.
Fair enough. Let's see. Let me go back really quick because potentially, let me read verify one more time.
It's a good day to be a moose.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It's doing really well. Where did Fairy Fire go?
And moose are terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
You don't take them down. I'm right behind you. We're gonna need Gren to be up and stabilize this guy so we can interrogate him.
Actually, Fairy Fire is down.
Oh.
This is a concentration spell, and Gren is asleep.
Oh, what a bummer.
As the song happened in the first place, technically all of these things were a little bit more difficult than they just actually were. We'll leave it as it is, but the purple fire is dissipated at the top of this round.
Good to know.
And now everybody is back to being invisible.
Dang.
Going forward then, whenever a Varen attacks, it's going to be a reckless attack. I wasn't aware of it this time, so it's all good.
Yeah, we'll keep that roll. You still hit with this one. That is still at disadvantage 20.
So, well then nope. It did the thing weird. Yeah, okay, so that is just 13.
Okay.
Shit, I rolled so much better on that last one. Yeah, so that's just gonna be 13 damage from there, but we're gonna follow that up with charge. So if I move at least 20 feet towards the target and then hit it with a ram attack on the same turn, it's another 2d6 damage, and they have to make a DC 25 strength save, DC 15 strength save. I wish it was a 25. And that's an extra 9 bludgeoning.
Extra 9. Awesome. But that is going to be a 20 on the strength save.
Oh well.
As you hit it with your horns and body and your charge, your weight, you hear as all of these mouths start screaming in pain. Your prongs dive out, and you can see that attached to that, it's not invisible anymore, as there is this viscous black ichor that is now stuck onto your antlers.
Tasty.
And you once again hear a familiar sound as this lullaby starts to play again. And it is close to you right now. And Viren, I need you to make a charisma saving throw as you hear the abyssal song coming out of this creature.
$15.
Okay.
Not bad for a barbarian.
Not bad for a barbarian. And this song might be unnerving to some, but you are also unnerving to some, as you manage to stay awake through the song. They're invisible, but they're close. Ileana, what do you want to do?
So it's invisible.
Yes. From where you are, you know that Viren is out about 120 feet away from you. You know, roughly that's where they were. He's attacking something. You also know that Othi is right over there as well, being attacked by, also, an invisible something.
120 feet. So to get within range of it, I would have to bonus action dash. And regardless, I'm not going to get sneak attack. Not in a good position this. I'm suddenly very useless. Yeah, Can't let this thing get away though. Yeah, I will. How can I tell based on the elk's movement how much this thing is moving per turn?
Yeah. Make a perception check, survival check, either way. Just to get a quick glance off that. That wouldn't take you more than a second. That's not your action or anything.
You've been able to hear the weird
That's a
song.
failure. I'll boost it.
With just this, you are too far away to be affected by the weird song. As you are the closest one, you are the only one within range of this. But you know, based on what you've heard earlier, that yeah, they're managed to make it at least that far, 120 feet or so. So that would be the speed, about 60 feet. But if you know that Viren's dashing, they're probably moving fast too.
So even if I double dash, I'm gonna be out of range next turn anyways. Yeah, so I will run and bonus action dash, and I will throw my psychic blade at disadvantage, I guess.
Okay, you're trying to hit the rider?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
$22.
Yeah, that's still gonna hit.
I
Even
see
invisible.
the
You can still
viscera
follow their
kind of pulling
trajectory.
out.
Excellent.
No sneak attack though, so this is only going to be 7 points of psychic.
Okay. As it does manage to hit. And Viren, you hear from somewhere in front of you.
Still not down.
Nope.
It's going to be up to Viren taking this thing down. Yeah, that's my turn. That's action, bonus action, movement.
All right. Othi, you are currently grappled by a very sharp, fleshy, warm tongue. What do you want to do?
So I have some fun plans for this thing. Quick question first, though. So it's invisible, but since it's literally touching me, do I have any kind of disadvantage on hitting something that's invisible that's also grappling me? Since I know I can feel where it is, essentially.
Let's see, order of effect. Actually, this thing made an attack against you in the first place, so it currently is not indivisible. It is now Everyone can see
right.
this one.
Because
Yes,
if you
it
attack
has
when you're
attacked
invisible.
you, yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
I should
Invisibility
remember
is
that from
dropped
last
on this.
season,
Yes,
considering
correct.
what I played.
That was my mistake as well. But yes, you can all see this one actually.
Okay, cool. So Othi just sort of smirks, like imagine that the camera zooming into Othi's face, anime protagonist smirk. And then she goes, "My turn," and uppercut with the hammer. And I'm gonna attack twice with the extra attack action. So first one is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, a 19 is going to hit for sure.
Fantastic. And you said this thing was a fiend, yeah?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. I'm gonna divine smite this little fucker.
Wonderful.
So that's gonna be and I'm gonna use a second level spell slot. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5d8 damage plus 4 on the first attack.
Okay.
For a total of 32 damage on the first attack.
Sweet.
Second swing, bringing the hammer back down. We'll be at 8, so that'll probably miss.
Yeah, with the big upswing into the dirt as this thing just barely manages to get out of the way. It is injured. It did not like that and it would hate it a second one.
Awesome.
That's a heavy blow. Good job.
I'm happy with the
good.
32. And then bonus action, I'm going to throw Shield of Faith on to raise my AC by 2.
Okay, awesome. Marosha. Still asleep?
Is there anything that I can do?
You must succeed on the charisma saving throw or fall asleep for 10 minutes. A creature awakens if taking damage, or another creature wakes it. But right now, you're just under this thing's control.
Right,
It is not natural sleep. It is forced sleep in this sense from this creature that has lulled you into a security.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just vibing. I'm asleep. I don't have anything.
If it is any consolation, it's so comfortable.
All right. Well, yeah,
You found it.
that
You found
actually does
such.
make me feel good.
It's such a nice little patch of grass. There's no way you want to wake up. You're actually. It's warm. It sounds really nice right now. Actually.
It does. Yes, it's very good.
As Othi, you hear back at you as this thing claws at you as you're in its grasp. So it's going to go ahead and with its claw. It's going to be 19 to hit.
That will be a miss.
Okay, awesome. And it is
Something's amiss here.
Ooh. With the Shield of Faith, what does your Shield of Faith look like?
So the Shield of Faith has a bunch of intricate, like vine filigree work throughout it. That's green with a bunch of yellow sunflowers, and then it's got a big eye in the middle.
Nice. I love that. As this thing tries to claw at you and to bite you, as it pulls you in closer to its mouth, this open maw with teeth circling all the way around, as neither of these attempts managed to make any sort of contact with you. Your shield protected you in this instance.
Awesome.
You're still grappled, but didn't get hurt at all. Ben, the other one is going to keep going. Yes, Viren.
Does that mean
If you'd like to.
delightful? I very much would, in fact.
This is at disadvantage, but it was close enough to you. It is within 5 feet.
Only 10.
As you swing out,
I moosed.
Moosed indeed. This thing is not 5 feet in front of you any longer.
Good to know.
Ben. What are you up to, Ben?
Ben is still running towards Grin and Marosha, whoever is closest at this point.
And they are right next to each other. You can get there in
Perfect.
your next 10 feet.
Well, that's whatever it takes, whoever's closest, one after the other. He's going to kind of give Marosha a shake. All right, Big Bear, come up. That's enough of a nap. Let's go.
No,
And he's going to give Grin a jostle too. And say nothing about having fallen off of the elk. Now, is that enough to wake them? I'm assuming,
Yes.
yeah, just somebody has awoken them.
Yep. That's all it really takes. And it's
Great.
surprisingly easy for not being woken up by the surroundings or the fight or anything. As soon as you touch and make contact, they are immediately awake, just like you were. As soon as something actually hits you, it was off.
Perfect. Did that use my action?
That does use your action to wake them both.
Okay. All right, but I still have some movement speed left, so
Yep.
I'm
And
going
you still
to
have a
use.
bonus action as well.
I'm going to use everything that's left to go dashing back towards the creature that has Othi.
Okay. You can make it within about 20 feet of that thing.
Perfect.
Gren. Oh, yeah, Ben, you got something else?
No, I was just gonna say that's it.
Okay. Gren, you're awake. You had a good little nap. But you also have realized that your fairy fire is gone. And that these things are back to being invisible. And what do you want to do?
Okay. So fairy fire's gone, but see invisibility is just
See, invisibility is a duration, so you can still see them.
Okay.
You know that the one that's attached to Othi is still there. And about 200 and almost 50 feet away from you is your guess. You can see off in the distance, currently running up one of the hills.
Why me? Gren takes out a. Gren doesn't take anything out, but he has something in his tunic. It's the amount of time that he's lost to magic sleep over the years. It says 50 minutes and 24 seconds, and he will add another 12 seconds to that, and then put it away. Then sort of does a jumping jack, and I will move, dash, and then bonus action step of the wind to dash again for 120 feet this turn.
Okay. They are still. You got up to Viren. They're still about another. They're going up the hill, 120 feet up front of you.
That's all I got.
Viren, what are you up to? They left, and you can't see them.
Can't see them. Do I have a vague idea of the direction that they ran?
With Gren there, I would say, yeah, not that direction, as far as you're aware. You can make a perception check to see how. But they weren't looking like they were going to immediately change directions.
Okay.
Your best guess is, yes, up the hill.
Would Labyrinthian Recall still apply? Since it is advantage on survival checks to follow tracks? Or would that have been lost with my Mortal Coil?
Where's the Mortal Coil again?
Minotaur is a really good heritage.
It is a really good heritage. No, I would say that even in this form, you can still be pretty good at that. knowing which way is north and tracking. This is a huge elk.
All right. And you said this was a survival check?
Yes.
All right. It's an 18.
Yeah, your best guess is they are heading up the hill. You have a general idea of where they're going to be at.
Great. And then still another 120 feet away?
Yep.
All right, well, we'll do the same special we did last time.
Cool.
And so that'll be action and movement to get up there, and then we will follow that up with a ram.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
And this will be reckless.
So reckless would just negate it.
Be normal,
to
yeah.
normal, yeah.
Which
Right.
is still a 25, but it's
Still
not that
25.
natural 20 though.
Not quite. Okay,
Brutal.
good hit though.
Okay, so that's another DC 15 strength save. And 18. Yeah, and 18 bludgeoning. Plus 2. So 20 total.
Okay. And that strength save is going to be a 19.
Ah, why are they so strong? All right, yeah, cool. That's everything Varen's got.
Clench all of their mouths really well. Okay. It yells out in pain once again. It's surprised that it cannot get away from whatever this thing is. Up next is it, actually. What does it want to do next? Oh, okay. All right, as it is still invisible, doesn't attack you, at least. Ileana, you're up.
I am 180 feet from this. If I'm calculating correctly.
Yes, that is correct.
And I'm a ways from the party. I'm kind of in between.
Yep.
Yeah, so the three of us are trying to chase this thing down. So I will bonus action, dash, and move, so 90 feet. I can't keep up, but I can at least be there if they get it to stop, if it eventually fails a saving throw or something.
Okay, as you move closer in.
And I will, I'm tracking it because we were saying that it was like pushing down grass and all that. So I am tracking it as we're running.
Okay.
The best I can.
Yeah. And with your passive, well, roll me just a perception check as you go.
And I will boost that if that's a failure.
Wait, you get to learn after the fact, don't you?
I do, because the trigger
Yeah.
is when you fail a
Yep.
skill that you're proficient in.
Yep. Okay, go ahead and boost that one then.
Okay. That's why it's so great. Oh. Fuck. 20 total.
Well, you know what? That actually was just the DC of this one. So it didn't, you just needed to add literally just one to it.
Awesome.
But a 19 didn't make it. So you can still see by pushing this grass down as they're heading up the hill, and especially with Viren right on their tail, roughly where this thing would be, at least where the mount would be.
Yeah, I will continue pursuing my two companions.
Okay. Othi, you are still in this thing's tongue. What do you want to do?
Remind me again, if you want to intimidate something in combat, if you succeed, what are the like statuses that would accomplish?
Well, in combat, You might be able to, it wouldn't be a full frighten, but it might pause it for a second for a turn, potentially. Make a listener look somewhere.
Okay.
Depends on how creative you can be with it, but it won't necessarily become afraid of you or anything.
Okay, that was more my question. Yeah, I don't want to waste an action on that then, so I'm just gonna attack it. I'll still do the thing for flavor though. So Othi has just hit this thing, for a just unreasonable amount of damage, and then shrugged off the attack. So she's feeling pretty confident. So she's just gonna like, with her shield hand, sort of grab the tongue, and just like pull it in a little bit closer. Like oh, thank you for this handle, and then attack again.
Okay, sweet. Go ahead and roll it.
All right, first attack is a 9, and then second one is a 7.
And the angle is odd. And you feel like you're making contact with this thing, but it also doesn't feel like it is hitting as best as you know you can hit.
Yeah, it's still a little bit of an awkward position.
Yeah, you are still also grappled by this thorny tongue. So that probably doesn't help much.
Yeah. And then I think for a, let's see. No, I want to save that. So yeah, that'll be my turn.
Paul brought up a real good point real quick. Those were damage rolls, not attack rolls.
Oh, I hit the wrong button.
Ah, so true. There would be a very difficult chance of getting.
I was
very
like,
high.
those are really low. All right, let's try
that
that
was
again.
unfortunate. Yeah.
Try that again.
Rewind.
14 and a 21.
Okay.
Thanks for that catch. I
yeah.
didn't notice that.
Yeah, me neither. Sweet.
Does the
Well,
21
The
hit?
21 does hit. Yes, you get one good clean blow on this thing,
Okay.
even through the thorny tongue.
That's gonna be a repeat of the last one.
Okay.
So that's 5d8 plus 4 for 20 damage.
All right. Sweet.
That will use up my last second level spell slot. And then yeah, I'll just smirk at it again.
Okay. Awesome. Marosha, you're awake. It's your time. What do you want to do? Othi's literally wrapped up in a thorny, fleshy, pink, gross tongue of a fiend. And everyone else is off chasing something that's invisible way over there.
Okay.
Got a lot of options.
Yeah. I mean, but I guess if most of the party is heading off to chase these things, I already know that they're like way far away from me. It'll take me a couple turns to get over there. I'm just gonna head over to the tongue that's got Othi, and help them with that. Cool. So I would like to, as I'm going over there, I would definitely like to rage. And yeah, I'll just start it off light. We'll take my trident and we'll start stabbing at the tongue.
Okay. What does your rage look like?
So in this case, it's, I think because he's running and he's focused on what Othi's like got going on, you kind of just see like the intense like muscle structure, like especially like around his shoulders as he's gripping his grip around his trident is a bit tighter, and it's just more so of like a focused rage as opposed to like a physical attribute that you see. Yeah,
I like that.
And I rolled a 12.
And as you come in with your trident, it whips part of its tongue out from your peripheral and just barely hits you right off course. It's still right there. It has still a pretty good use of the tip of its tongue that's not wrapped around Othi.
Okay. Well, I'll just go ahead and dive in with my second attack in reference to this, and it's a 26 to hit.
Much better. Excellent.
Beautiful.
And that one is absolutely going to connect. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
Yeah, 9 points of damage.
Sweet.
Cool. And then we'll just stay right here with this tongue, focusing on this while everybody else is running towards this other thing.
Okay, awesome. As this one right next to both of you looks around as best as it can, you've noticed that it doesn't have eyes necessarily. There isn't a nose. There's not anything more than this mouth and this tongue and the feet and the claws. And as you're closer to it, it smells abysmal. Sulfur and putrid stink is just emanating from this thing, from its mouth, from its sides, from the joints of its not even a plated armor. That actually, now that you're closer to it, is its hide. It just is tough. As this thing looks over towards you, Marosha, back at you, Othi, and it's going to attack Othi, as it is still under that effect.
Awesome.
That is going to be with its claw, 25.
So that's
Sorry, 26.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. That's going to be... that's going to be 19 slashing damage as it comes at you with its sharp claws of one of its paw.
Okay. Is that still considered a magical weapon?
Yes, all of this whole entity is considered a magical thing.
Okay.
And this for all of its attacks, yes. They are not weapons themselves. Well, they are. They're the claws and the tongue and the teeth, but they all do qualify.
Gotcha.
And the bite is a... Not. Is it? An 18 is not going to hit you.
No.
But that first claw attack, that one hurt. Even through your very, very good armor. Ben, what do you want to do?
Oh, fingers crossed on immunities and resistances here. Ben is going to keep running right at this thing, and as he approaches, there is this... The runes down his right arm light up, and there is this horrible kind of creaking metallic popping sound, and the fingers on his right hand, the metal starts to reshape into these razor sharp claws, and there are open seams that weren't there before, and this caustic liquid starts to drip out between them, and he is going to take a couple of swings and try to rip into this thing with primal savagery.
Okay.
That'll be a 23 to hit.
That is going to hit, absolutely.
And 17 acid damage unless it's got some kind of resistance.
Okay. And which one were you hitting the acid with?
The one that has Othi.
Okay, sweet.
Let me guess, it's immune. Or is
Yeah, you're gonna hate this.
God damn it.
As this acid just sprays out of your fingertips and douses the back of this thing, it doesn't even look like it doesn't mind this at all. The acid actually becomes now part of the stink.
He kind of glares at it and yells, "Yeah, well, fuck you too," and kind of looks back over his shoulder, and as a bonus action, he will use Boots of the Winding Path to kind of vanish back 15 feet. And again, there is more of that popping and creaking as his right arm goes back to the way it was and the runes stop glowing. So we have learned a lesson. No more fire, no more acid.
Well, yeah, might be good to know. There was actually one thing that the other invisible one did start to move again as well. Feared, you are still next to this thing. It is still invisible, so you would still roll a disadvantage if you did want to use your reaction to that.
Oh, yeah, totally. Would the reckless still be in effect?
Not for this one.
Okay. Just a 13.
13 is not going to make it, as you can feel that it bolted, but where it went is a question. Gren, you're up.
We're good. So it just moves another 120 feet.
Moved away, and you can see it. So yeah, you can still see it, that it is currently bolting down towards the top of the hill. It's going to peek over, and it's heading down now.
Points getting low. Keep points getting low. Run. So it's I went for 120 last turn. That put me in 130. So it's another. It's again 250 away from me, isn't it?
Yes.
If only I had more movement speed.
Same.
I don't know if
I
that's
mean,
what
there is technically a mounted creature within 120 feet of you, or a mountable creature.
Actually, yeah, I guess that actually is true. Yeah, Gren will run towards Varen, but you're 120 feet away from me, so is it an action to hop on top?
I think it's a bonus action amount, actually.
I still need to use 120 feet, so I need to use my bonus action to run that extra bit.
I would say you can use your action for a bonus action, but
not good. No, I only move 40 feet. So I'll burn a key point to move 120 this turn, but I can't get on Varen. But I am right next to you. Hi, bud.
As you sprint over and just have to catch your breath before you make the climb up this massive thing. From further away, you looked a little smaller, but from right up here,
adventuring was easier in my day.
Speaking of, Viren, Gren has now ran to your feet. What do you want to do?
Would it be a bonus action for me to pick Gren up?
Yes.
All right. So in that case,
it's like using an item. You're so big.
Varen will tip his head over to the side and kind of just scoop Gren and just toss him back, and we'll make a inquisitive sound as an elk. I was getting ready to do it. You got to believe me. I can't do an elk call because it has a high and a low pitch going on at the same time, and I am but one person. So it's a very confused kind of noise.
Perfect.
And we'll start running in the best direction that it thinks it went in.
Okay. And you are both at 21 for your same initiative. So, Viren, you can still see where this thing is headed. Or Gren, you can still see where this thing is headed. You can start to guide Viren. That away as you head off after.
I'll use the rest of the movement to, I'll use that other 120 to get right up on him again.
Okay. And you are keeping pace with this thing.
We've split the party so bad.
Yeah, you're not close very much anymore. But what's the worst thing that happened? As this thing looks back, as its mount is still riding forward, you can see that the crocodilian head looks up at you, Gren, and just eyes both of you over and over again, as it is now getting the very distinct feeling that it's not going to be able to shake you. As it turns around and comes to a halt from on top, you see that this thing climbs off the mount and turns to face you. As it looks injured, but now both of them have turned around and are looking like they are preparing to engage in some manner with the two of you. They haven't attacked yet, but they're waiting for you to get a little bit closer. And Gren, that's what you see. Viren, you don't see that they've stopped yet. Ileana, what do you want to do?
I have lost track. How far behind am I? I know it's not a ton, but it's more than I would like to be.
Yeah, it has been it's been 3 turns. You're about 300 feet away from them.
I've also been running 90 feet a turn.
At this point, you are, let's see, trigonometry time. 90, 120, 90, 120. That's okay, that makes...
They're making 30 feet a turn on me.
Yeah, you're about 120 feet away.
Okay. Okay, I can work with that.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. I can work with that. Okay. I will bonus action dash to get to 60 feet. And just hoping that Viren has been keeping up with this thing, knowing that Gren can see it and it's on his back. So I am going to, my spike materializes in my hand and I'm going to throw it just in front of Viren. At
Okay.
Disadvantage.
Yep. Go ahead
Get
and roll it.
sneak attack on it, but it'll be something.
And you're aiming for the rider for this one, or?
At the rider, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. As it, you can tell it impacted the dirt.
Okay. Well, that is my turn, but if he's standing and fighting, I'll finally be able to do something next turn, hopefully, unless Viren kills him or Gren kills him. But I mean, either is
Yeah, they finally, after having kept pace for over 400 feet in a straight dash, we could keep going with that for a long time. Othi, speaking of, what are you up to? You're still grappled, by the way.
Oh yeah, this is totally fine. This is actually exactly where she wants to be, because she wants to keep this thing locked down.
Perfect.
But she looks over to Marosha, and in the nature of two people who have had many battles together, just goes, you get a good nap? You feeling okay? You ready to jump in here?
Yeah, it was wonderful. It seems as though that I had a better time than you're faring.
Oh, it's just a little scratch, and with that, she's gonna do lay on hands on herself for the amount of damage that she's taken, which I believe is 45.
Oh.
As the action. Let's see. Oh, maybe not the full amount. Hold on. I have to do a little math here. Okay, so for 40. So that'll replace all but 5.
Nice.
And that's all I'm going to do this turn.
Okay, sweet. Marosha, you're up now.
All right, sweet. So, we're definitely gonna take another strike, but we're gonna attack recklessly with the javelin here. I'm sorry, the trident. Let's see. 18 to hit.
18's gonna hit.
Beautiful. And that's gonna be just 10 points of damage on the die, and then I'm going to. You know what? Yeah, I'm. Sorry, it's digital dice. Hold on.
No worries. With your first strike, though, it bellows out in pain. It did not like that.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. All right, so in that, I'm going to actually, for my second attack, I'm just going to keep going at it, knowing that I'm kind of making some progress here. That is clawing out into pain. I'm gonna go ahead and manage. Oh, for a natural 20 to hit for 27.
Awesome.
Let's
Sweet.
go. And boom. 10. 24 points of damage. Do you do double or?
Double the dice. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 24 points of damage.
Hey, Mroja, you walked into this fight after being asleep. Sure, yeah, they did a couple of hits, but how do you want to finish this guy?
So definitely after having the interaction with Elthie, and she's like, you want to do something now? And it's like, yeah, okay. What? The first strike is more so of an annoyance because he just kind of got that jab from his friend. But so he takes the first trident swipe, and it just kind of claws down, kind of pinning the tongue. It's doing its thing like this. And then after noticing that actually got somewhere, then you can see like a laser focus in his eye, and he's kind of got this like small toothy grin, and he takes the trident and he just starts pushing it forward to where the whole tongue just severs itself. So it's kind of like one of those things. And then looks over at Oath and be like, "Are you happy? Did I help?"
Yes, thank you. You really licked that one.
As this thing's in the background.
In character and out of character with ha. This is pretty good. Yeah.
And as this thing falls, it starts to bubble and roil and change and shrink and turn into, eventually, as you watch this thing melt, into a puddle of black ichor. The plants around start to slowly decay, and the flowers in the vicinity start to wilt, their leaves dropping. As you have a little patch of contamination.
Does it kind of seem like the other contamination that we saw, like in the lake or in the Meme Lake, or just as we were like coming up in the town?
Make a nature or arcana check for me, please.
And they're both the same. Cool. We'll just go nature. 5. Yes. I know all of it.
There's definitely, like, it's gross. It's still gross. But is it the same thing? If it's gross, it's black, it's sticking there, and you don't want to touch it. But magically speaking, you know that it might be a little bit. Who knows?
Any like obvious like visual reactions other than it just being like icky and black?
It still has bubbles. It's still roiling. It's not the same necessarily, like the greenish color and the greenish hue that was in the water that you saw earlier, but it doesn't look necessarily that texturally different, as opposed to it is not the same color, nor is the same. It's not a liquid necessarily. This is now all of the liquid of this thing is evaporated and gone away. What's left here is a kind of like dried oil slick. Like if you were to take a bird out of an oil spill, it's like there's oil spilled all over the area where this thing has just died.
Okay. I think Marosha looks over at Othi and goes, "This may sound weird, but should we like take a bit of it? I don't know. Do you think maybe like Ben has something like in his arm, or maybe any tools or something that they could probably take a closer look? If not, I'll leave it here. That's fine."
That seems like a good idea. We should probably collect a sample.
Actually, could Ben do a nature check with his herbalism kit?
What are you testing for? Do you have a question in mind?
Same thing, to see what kind of decay, disease.
You can definitely take some and run some tests on it. Now, I don't think that you have a sample of the other contamination, unless I'm mistaken on that one. So
No.
You can't compare and contrast necessarily.
Okay, so no herbalism kit, just a straight nature check.
I mean, you could see, run some tests. That'll add some proficiency to it. But if you had the compare and contrast, that would maybe add some advantage to it.
Okay, so the question is an herbalism kit or no?
Yes, go ahead and roll with your herbalism kit.
Okay, so I have a tool expertise, which means I get to add a 3 to this.
Wonderful.
Okay, so that's a 20.
Okay. You've seen, though, what happened at the other area. You saw that things changed. You saw that things broke down. And looking at the plants around, testing a couple of different things, it looks pretty similar. You can't tell 100%. It is still different in some ways. The color is different. The hue is different. The viscosity is different. But in the effects, they're not dissimilar. You can't rule it out completely, but you can't say 100% yes. If you compare and contrast, if you take the sample back, you feel like that will give you a lot more details. But right now, it looks like it is certainly possible that they are very, very similar.
So maybe like a variant of the same thing. I do have, the herbalism kit and alchemist supplies and some other things. I would like to take a sample.
Okay, awesome. As you are just working with this stuff, go ahead and roll me a dexterity check to see how well you handle. I'm assuming you're not trying to get it all over you.
Yeah, no, that's less than ideal.
Yeah.
17.
Okay, very good. You've done this before. You've messed around with stuff you shouldn't be messing around with. You know how to put things into a
Fishing.
jar. Pretty good. Okay, and you safely get a sample into your kit.
Awesome.
Ren and Viren. You're off on a chase. What are the two of you up to?
They've stopped. They've turned around to face us.
Yep. You know that they were running. They are still a little bit ahead of you. But as you were keeping pace, they ran about 50, 60 feet, and then they paused about 60 feet away, and they have just turned around and they are now looking at the two of you. They've hopped off, and there's two of them kind of just waiting for you over there. But they are in an aggressive position. They look like they are getting ready to do something if you get too close.
Okay, if they're 60 feet away, then I will, I guess, once again try my luck and how do I close the spell? Not that one. Cast Fairy Fire again.
Okay.
Because my fellows need to be able to see them.
All right. And once again, you cast the fairy fire, and the purple hue lights up the crocodile, but not the mount.
Very nice. And as my bonus action, I will, Gren will use Tactical Mind, which allows me to use the help action as a bonus action.
Sweet.
And Varen, on your next attack roll, you should be able to not only have advantage, but add my proficiency modifier, which is a +3.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And I
That
got
is wonderful.
and I got nothing else. So
Okay.
that's my turn. They have a weak stance. Take advantage of that.
Well, Viren. Your move.
Great. So then Viren is going to move 60 feet to be in the immediate area of this terrible sparkling death cloud.
Yep.
And its death, rather. And is in a sharp contrast to Marosha's sudden intensity and natural flow into the battle, where this elk has been, running and actively chasing before. Now that it's close, you see its eyes kind of start to go red, and it looks like its neck gets a little bit bigger, and it starts to froth, and it kind of its shoulders get broader for some reason. and it looses another and charges in. I'm going to use my bonus action to rage, because we're an angry moose now.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, we're going to go for horns on that. So is that an advantage?
Yes, it is. It's covered in fairy fire. If you're going for the rider.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
definitely
just making
going for
sure.
that. So
Okay.
that's a 26.
A 26. Yeah, that was going to hit.
Nope. So that is 14 bludgeoning plus another, so 20 bludgeoning and another DC 15 strength saving throw.
Okay. That is going to be a 16 to the strength save.
Every time. Tell you what, is it in its silhouette? Is it holding anything?
It's not right now.
Okay, well then never mind.
Yeah. Okay. And it will look at you. And with the two of you who are right there, what is it going to do next?
Oh, sorry, that's with another 2 damage because I forgot that I was raging.
Oh, sweet.
So 22 together.
Awesome. It's going to make a leap. And with that leap, it's going to use some of its movement speed and jump up and start to climb, or at least attempt to climb the elk. Yes. With this, it's not very fast. How big are you, actually, is this elk? How tall up is this back?
Huge.
All right, cool. It's going to rethink that, actually, because it's slow. And instead, it's going to stand its ground. And you both hear the abyssal language again. And Gran, you speak it. You recognize it. And while it doesn't sound like anything to you other than guttural language, Viren, Gran, you can hear this thing say something along the lines of, I apologize. Send regards. Somebody else must obtain the egg. And then it braces for impact. Ileana, what do you want to do?
Does Gren tell any of us that in the moment?
I don't think Grun knows what to do with that.
By the way, sorry, mistranslation. Not egg, seed.
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 He knows even less what to do with that. Ileana took a seed? Did she offend a dryad at some point? I'm not sure I understand.
Liana, you are about 120 feet behind. Catching up.
Oh, he keeps moving?
Oh, no, you moved your 90 feet last turn, so it moved about 60. Yeah, you are about 90 feet behind. But you know that they paused as far as you've seen. You know that the purple is lit up and that this thing is pretty much just kind of standing still.
Okay. Standing still and didn't attack?
No, it did not.
Didn't attack, and I couldn't understand it, but it said something.
It said something, and it is now off of its mount. It looks like it's still waiting for something to close enough to it or something, but it didn't retaliate necessarily.
Okay. Because I was ready to kill this thing, but it didn't attack and it said something, and I feel like that is at least intriguing her. I will bonus action dash and move 60 feet, so I'm 30 feet from it. And I will hold an attack.
Okay.
Or if it attacks, or if it begins to run, or does anything other than parlay with us.
Okay. Awesome. Othi. Marosha, what are you two up to? And Ben, I suppose.
I think we're kind of just like, or at least I would think they were kind of just like hanging out. We're just
Yeah.
going like,
Are the others within view of us at least?
They've gone, they're about more than 300 feet away from you. They've gone up a hill and kind of started to peek over. So they're kind of on the other bridge. They're a little bit out of sight, actually, right now.
Should we just wait here, go try and catch up with them, or what?
honestly, I think probably catching up with them would be best.
All right. Well, I can. Looks like these things are fiends, so if I can get within a certain distance from them, I should be able to figure out where they're at if they're still invisible. I guess I'll run up ahead. My mount here can only really take me, unfortunately. But I'll run up ahead and call back to let you know where their things are.
Ben, by this point, has already started to head that way.
Yeah, I think we just kind of just like start walking over, or like, just it's fine, Othi. Come on, we'll see them in a second.
All right, yeah. Othi climbs up onto the Mastiff and goes full speed to try and catch up.
Okay, awesome. And it takes a little bit, but, you make your way over there. As Grin and Viren, what are the two of you up to?
Hearing this abyssal and concealing that he has been able to speak it this whole time, Gren hops off of Varen's back and stands in front of this thing, but gives it some space, and then he will speak abyssal. Tell me, who sent you?
Okay. Roll me a persuasion or intimidation check, depending on which method you're trying.
Just keep it.
And the angry moose next to him, give him advantage.
I believe he might actually still have. Or was that given to somebody else? Wasn't somebody else given guidance?
Ben had, but he fell asleep. So
I see,
Yeah.
I see.
and it requires concentration.
Yeah, unfortunate.
I will attempt persuasion, but I'm not charisma based. Hey.
Yeah, Viren, if you want to aid in this as well.
Yeah,
You can
I'll
help
throw
out.
some angry moose vibes.
Yeah, you both
Okay.
are on initiative 21 anyway.
I guess we're doing intimidation. Sure. So
I didn't know you had a -1.
yeah.
But with help, advantage, that's a 19.
That's fair. Yep, a 19 is true. And as you talk to this thing, it registers that you are speaking a language that it speaks, and it whips its head over to you. You know this, and you work for them.
I had a bit of a weird phase growing up.
it like hisses at you. You would try to help us if you knew.
I mean, tell me and I'll know.
Looks back at everything that's going on around it. Doesn't say anything. The 19 is intimidating, sure, but not enough to scare this thing.
Ren sort of clears his throat. Ah, yes, well, peeks past Varen. Ileana, do you happen to have some sort of, a seed, perhaps, that you've taken from somebody? Do you have any enemies that might want some sort or form of seed?
I have a number of enemies.
Do you
I'm
also
not
have a number
sure.
of seeds?
I'm not sure what they mean by seeds. We need to find out who sent them, where they're going. Something. They wouldn't tell you?
No.
You trigger my held attack.
Okay. Roll your attack.
They are invisible, but fairy fire, right?
Yes.
Or did they become visible?
That's a good question. Yeah, as they started talking, they became visible, and you can see now, all of you, that this is the figure that it is, with all of its teeth, all of its mouths.
19 to hit.
That's gonna do it. Yes. Go and roll your damage.
21 points, psychic.
Yeah. Hey, what's this look like as you finish this creature off?
I think it hits him and there's blood that drains out of his nose, and I immediately yell, Gren, stabilize him.
Sure, let me just do that.
And
He
as
can
soon
fast,
as
I don't know.
Yeah, as soon as your psychic attack hits and deals damage, it very clearly dies. But as it falls to the ground, the same thing that the others saw earlier, it starts to bubble and roil and change and enlarge for a second, as then it deflates and becomes this black tar-like oil substance that takes over a part of the area where this creature was vanquished. As parts of the plant start to decay around it, the flowers start to wilt, the petals start to fall off, as the other creature that is still there materializes itself as well, tongue lashing around, looking at all of you and taking in the scene.
So, I don't think spare the dying would work.
Apparently not. Does this need to be willing? Hang on. It does not need to be willing. I am going to... Is it my turn? Because that was a held action, so it should
That
be
was a
me
held
initiative.
action. Yes, it is still your turn. Right before
I
your
am
turn, you
going-
blast that thing off.
Wait,
I'm going to...
Yes, Fury.
can I give it one last go?
Yeah.
I don't think I got a round in that. I don't think I got an exchange in that round.
Then yeah, go for it. Oh yeah, you helped with intimidation. Yes, correct.
Yeah. So we're gonna do the same thing. Same thing. You know, no deviation. Still great. It's a classic every time.
Okay.
Still be another horns. Uh, 21.
It's gonna hit.
We're doing another 18.
Okay.
And it will be, yet again, a different save this time. Will be... okay, still 15. Still strength, but now it has to save or be pushed away.
It got a 24.
Okay. That's me.
Okay. Ileana. And then both of you are on deck. And Marosha.
Yeah. I'm going to spend a psionic dive to do a second psychic whispers for the day. This is the last 3 hours, and I'm going to connect. I can do. So I'm going to connect me, Gren, Fearhin, and this creature together telepathically, because we do not need to share language to communicate telepathically.
Very true. Okay.
Yeah, so I connect telepathically with it.
Okay.
Because we knew it was being spoken to.
Yes.
I don't know how intelligent this thing is, but connecting telepathically with it, I will say, where are you going? Where did you come from? Who sent you?
Okay. Go ahead and roll a persuasion. Yeah.
Gladly. I will bolster this if I fail.
Oh, 24. That's really good, actually. As you ask these questions, it doesn't take a lot for it to answer you necessarily. As you hear back, collecting object. Kill all in way. No survivor. Why wait? It honestly feels a little bit confused as well. But its task was to go collect something. It doesn't feel very intelligent. It feels like this thing is here to follow orders and has been given peculiar orders, at least in this particular instance. Yes. Its main objective is to collect something, and it told you that part. But you are of no use to it. It doesn't know why. It doesn't care about you.
We can tell the item's not here. Is that the sense I'm getting?
Roll an insight check.
Oof. I mean, I'll bolster that.
Yeah, okay. I would recommend it.
12.
Okay. That's a possibility. It could be a couple of other things, but that's not unlikely.
They were sent to retrieve something, and they left without attacking. Okay. I'm not getting any sense of the direction it came from. I'm like, we're connected telepathically. Am I seeing pictures of anywhere I've seen before from its mind when I ask it, or no?
It's odd that you ask that, because it doesn't really see anything either. It doesn't have eyes. It doesn't have the same senses. It is something that just does know and just does feel and just does awareness of surroundings. So as far as visuals, nothing necessarily. But you do get feelings of cold, damp, dark, and then the feeling of change into dry, following, hunting, chasing. But no visuals necessarily, nothing that'll remind you of a direction, at least with sight.
Okay. I'm guessing I can't ask any more questions this round.
Yeah. That was good, though. Othi, you're running up on your steed.
Yeah. So can I see this thing?
Yeah, you're getting within range now.
Okay. I'm going to try and position myself to where I am behind it so that if it does try to run away, I can stop it.
Okay.
And let's see. Does that take a full turn to kind of get into position?
At least the movement action, yeah. You still
Okay.
have your other stuff, but
Okay, sweet. Got some other things I can do. Let's see. I'll do. Oh nope, actually I can't do that one. So yeah, I think that's actually it. I'm just gonna chill there, waiting for an opportunity attack. I guess I could ready an action to hit it, if it does not trigger an opportunity attack.
okay. Cool. As you just stay and watch this thing, and it does actually start to move, and you can see that this tongue starts to whip around. And if you have a ready to action, yeah, now would be the time to do it.
Yeah, I specifically want to do an opportunity attack, because I have
Oh, I see.
the sentinel feat, so I can stop it in its tracks if I hit it.
It is not retreating at this point. It is attacking.
Oh, okay. Then
yes.
heck yeah, let's just hit it.
Yes. Okay. Good. Yeah, you can see that this tongue. You've been hit by this tongue before. You know how it starts to wind up, but you can see that it is. While you are all kind of not paying attention to it specifically, getting ready to not be confused any longer. It has a mission, and it's still trying to accomplish this. As you see this tongue start to wind up.
Yeah, it's hammer time.
Excellent.
There's 15 and 9 on the attacks.
Okay. The 15. Neither of those are going to hit.
Okay. What can I do for bonus actions? Let's see. Who does it look like it's attacking?
Well, it is going to reach out and strike at Gren.
Oh.
And that Gren is going to be a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. That's going to be 17 magic piercing damage, and you are also grappled. Let's see. At the same time, as soon as this tongue whips out and hits you, Grin, as you are paying attention to the conversation that you are having, you all feel from the side of the hill and see this bright light, this orangish warm color, this beam that comes from the side of the hill and hits this creature as it hits you, Grin, with its tongue. As you all look over at this entity that just gets blasted by this vibrant energy, as from the inside, bright beams of light start to expand around it, and it ceases to exist. Now, what you did notice immediately is that it didn't die like the other two. There is no muck, ichor, viscous liquid. Doesn't exist in this one. As you start to look around, you hear off to your left at the bottom of this hill a voice, "Oh yeah, that's so cool!" As you look over, and Ileana, you're the first one to see this, as you had ideas. And now this thing is just simply gone. As this cat, this small, youngish, mountain lion-y sized cat, vibrant oranges and whites of its fur. It looks like part of it are maybe even leaves. You can see that there's this bright gem at the top of its head. and it walks over to all of you. Okay, that was crazy. I didn't know if it was gonna get you an attack tonight. That was really good. I didn't know that was gonna happen. Hi. Oh, sorry. I'm Avery. Are you the ones that I'm assuming so. Hi. Sorry, I was sent by the Queen of Cats. I'm here to help. We have a problem, and I think that you're the people that I'm looking for. And we're going to come back to that, unless you want to do something right now.
I just wanted to say, so Othi, upon hearing there's a Queen of Cats and seeing this is a cat talking, is just like, ah! So happy.
And we're going to come back to Avery and the rest of this scene next time.
Awesome. That was great. That was very fun combat. We're going to let everybody say what their favorite part was and where we can find them next. Anything they'd like to share or plug, and then we'll go on our raid, and we'll do that reverse order from how we started. So we'll start with Andy.
Okay. Yeah, that was fun. I really like watching all of your characters do their thing in combat. I think that that's, even though some of them might not have worked perfectly, the ideas and the concepts are very, very cool to me. I think one of my favorite, like, just flavor things is actually the acid out of the tips of the fingers from Ben. That was really cool. Bummer that thing is actually immune to acid, and it does actually help it a little bit. Tragic indeed. But flavoring, amazing. I really like that a lot. As far as where you can find me next, we'll be here next week, next Tuesday, same time, same place. On Saturday, actually not this weekend, there will be a finale to our Somehow Human show, but there has also been a couple of different things happening over the next couple of weekends. It'll happen maybe on the 10th. We'll see. Stay in tune for that. I'll talk more about that one later, but we'll have a finale when we have a finale. Yeah, besides that, you can find me on Twitter, Martinez Tweets. You can find me on Hive, that's what it's called, and Martinez Buzzes. That's my verb for that one.
I love that.
Yeah. Twitch is Martinez Streams. Either way, I'll be around here next week.
Awesome. Zan, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Yeah. Favorite part. This is kind of a long one, but I just really appreciate the callback to season 1 with this. When another half of our party spent the entire combat unconscious, making death saves and stuff. This was so beautiful, so good, and yet none of us died. It was perfect. Yeah, and I'm Zan. You can find me at Insanity TTRPG most places. Most recently Hive, but we'll upload something there eventually. I am a game dev, voice actor, and streamer, and all that other good and fun stuff, and your favorite therapeutic GM. So you should definitely follow me on all the places, and come check me out at PAX this weekend. I'll be giving a talk, or I'll be moderating a panel at 10:30 on Saturday morning on Can You Really Learn Sign Language from a TTRPG? With the Inspirals creator, Rich, and some other really cool folks, including Calliope, who's a regular here as well. Awesome. Additionally, one final thing, I know I'm full of stuff today. A podcast that I was on recently, The Gorgon Show, has been, my episode in particular, has been nominated for an award over on Audioverse, for the Audioverse Awards. And I am nominated for Best New Guest in a New Show. So if you haven't checked out The Gorgon Show, you should. And my episode is delightful as Gregory, the Ozark Howler. But there's also some other really great, wonderful shows on there that you should also vote for, like Old Gods of Appalachia, which is so good. And yeah, that is everything. Done now.
Awesome. I'm so excited about that for you. Let's see. Next we've got M. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Favorite part, yeah, all the combat was really fun, but before that, I loved Othi and Marosha's diversion. The super melodramatic me here, like, and the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor goes to like, that was great. That was really, really funny. But yeah, I'm Emily. You can find me at Timberdoodles on Twitter. I'm a digital artist. I complain a lot. And I will be here again next week, and I'm really excited to see what happens next. Hopefully, less failed attacks.
Awesome. Par. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything you want to share or plug?
Let's see. I guess it's sort of abstract for a favorite part, but I feel very spoiled for choice with this build that I've made and am implementing. Last season with Dram, I often find I really was only going to do one thing, and I was pretty decided on that like 3 turns in advance always. But this time around, Gren's got a lot of things he could potentially do, and nothing like there's not much that will feel useless. So I actually really am enjoying that from doing this build. So I guess that's sort of abstractly my favorite part. Just having all the world of choices to be made. You can find me at YouTube at Mr. Parr. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Parr4E. You can find me on Twitch at Mr. Parr. And I'll be back here next week with this lovely cast to see whatever's going on with Avery and see where it goes.
Awesome. Next would be Ian. Ian had to step away a little bit early, but definitely go check out his Twitter at yaboybig, as it's spelled on the screen there. And I think that's the same name on other socials as well, so go check out his stuff. And then next we've got Anna. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share, plug?
I mean, I'm always a fan of consequences coming back for my actions, but I think that aversion was probably my favorite part, because I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not that. It was wonderful. It was really, really great to watch. But yeah, I'm Anna, aka Archival, despite most places on the internet, queer and trans advocate, museum worker, TTRPG streamer, and podcaster. If any of that sounds interesting, you find me over on Twitter at Archival Despon, Hive at Archival Despon, and most places. If it's a social media, check and see if I'm there as Archival Despon or Archival Desponi. As far as where to find me, this Friday you can find me over on the as of earlier tonight, Gamehers award-winning Girls Run These Worlds channel with Dead Man's Switch, our Starfinder actual play campaign. We are a former adventuring group that received a message that their former captain had been murdered, and we are investigating it, unraveling layers upon layers of conspiracy. I play Decimar Mystic, which means I'm a giant psychic butterfly. It's been really great. There are some wonderful lines and scenes that have come out of that show, and we're halfway through a 6-episode season, so it's very easy to catch up. You can find those videos over on Girls Run These Worlds. We'll be back on the 10th from holiday break with Dragon Riders of Aobe over on Dexar19's channel. That's our quest actual play following a bunch of Dragon Rider trainees and their dragons as we explore the surface for the first time. The show's equal parts wholesome and action-packed, so always worth a watch. Of course, check out U-Force Inheritance over on Thorny Dryad's channel and The Timeless Journey over on Ballad of the Seven Dice. We have VODs up for both of those. They're only monthly games, so very easy to catch up. One has, I think Masks has 5 episodes and Ryutama has 3, so very easy to catch up on that. Wonderful cast for both of those. And Masks especially, very tense. We've had some very tense, very emotional couple of episodes. So if you enjoy drama and romance with your teenage superheroes, go check that out. And of course, if sci-fi or podcast more you think, you find me over on Response Team Omnicron, Atlantis, our actual play podcast following a PR team who unexpectedly ends up on the front lines of a brewing conflict. We have narrative first giant mech combats, sci-fi feels, roleplay focused characters. We lean very much towards radio drama, focus in on the characters and their stories. We just passed our 1-year anniversary, which is really exciting. Come and see what all the fuss is about anywhere you normally get your podcast, and on Twitter at RT Omnicron. I have a couple of other projects coming up as well, including casting for a very secret podcast that I'm putting together, which is very exciting. So keep an eye on my Twitter for that.
Awesome. I think that just leaves me. So let's see. My favorite part. This is gonna sound funny, but getting hit was my favorite part. After the last combat where I was like running around going like, why won't anything hit me? This one was really fun. Because I definitely built Othi to just like sit there and soak up damage. So that was a lot of fun. Getting to like smack the thing in the face with a super powered divine smite was also blast. I actually really enjoyed the way the party split during the combat, because it definitely was like Othi and Marosha and Ben definitely have like the personalities and fighting style to do what we did, whereas Ileana and Varen especially, and also Grin just had that sort of like, I'm gonna go chase that down. So it was really neat to see that just naturally happen in the combat and split the party without hurting ourselves too bad by doing that. So all of the combat was really fun this time. And I really enjoyed the conversation at the beginning, trying to figure out, okay, what are we gonna do? Do we want to like just let these guys follow us? Do we want to confront them? All of that interaction was a lot of fun. So yeah, I enjoyed the whole thing. Where you can find me next will be hopefully this coming Saturday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time for Animus. Story's moving in some really cool directions there. A lot of things that we've been building up for literally like the last over 2 years of story crafting in that game is starting to come to a close. So it's a really cool time to check some of that out. And then I think that's everything for streamed games. I've got a couple of games over on Start Playing, I believe on Thursday and Friday, that are up for signups. So if you want to sign up to play in a game where I am GMing, you can do so. I'm going to grab the link to my profile so I can throw that in chat. But I've got a surreal horror where you play through a circle of hell as a D&D group, but it's basically a modern day super Walmart, just that's empty and full of like demonic stuff. It's really fun and kind of quirky. And then I've got a Star Trek Adventures game where you have to basically try to attempt a rescue mission while racing down the clock. And there's Romulans involved, and it's really cool. So those are coming up on Thursday and Friday if you want to sign up for those. Other things to share or plug. I think that's everything for me. But I do want to throw out the backer page for did I not type in the right thing there? Oh, it's disconnected. Okay, I will get the link there in chat in just a second. But the backer page for this game, if you want to help support the cast and crew, and help make sure that we can keep doing more cool stuff like this in the future, there's going to be a link there that you can go to help support that. It's over on my coffee shop, which is just like it's spelled at the bottom of the screen, coffee.com/Raven. And let's see if this will work now. There we go. There's the link straight to it. Also, our sponsor, which is Fundamental RPG, which you can also find at that same spot. It is a simple D20 system that's not tied to a genre, so you can use it to play any style of game that you'd like, from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. The physical copies are linked there. It's on Amazon. Digital copy is on my coffee shop, and there is a quick free play guide. A free quick play guide. Burst those in my mind there. Free quick play guide over on the coffee shop as well. I believe that is everything. We're gonna go on a raid. We're gonna go raid Nerdsmith. Really cool group of folks over there. Definitely give them a follow if you're not doing so already. Then I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.